Hey guys, I know I have really shitty lighting right now, but I've gotten a bunch of new subscribers, and for some reason, this is just weighing heavy on my heart. I'm watching Megan Thee Stallion's new show on Prime. It's called In Her Words, and it just got done talking about the part where her mom passed away, and I just wanted to share that story with you guys about my mom. I got sober, I got clean in 2014 when I was pregnant with my son, not this one, obviously. My 10-year-old, I was pregnant with him and I was using heroin every day. And when I wanted to get clean, I was so scared. I was scared they were going to take my baby away from me. I was scared that just everyone was going to hate me and be like, how the fuck could you do this to your child? I was just scared of everything. But I eventually got up the courage to go to the methadone clinic. And funny enough, my kid's dad went to jail like a couple days later for retail fraud. And I got hit with conspiracy to commit retail fraud. So he went to jail, and I went and got on methadone. And I actually was successful on methadone. I started methadone, I got stable, and I stopped using drugs. I started going to meetings. And then after I had the baby, I weaned off of methadone like within 6 months. I was really huge in the recovery community, and my mom and I used to use together, but like not at this point. Everybody thought I was clean, like when I was using and pregnant. Everyone thought I was clean, but I wasn't. But then actually, after I got clean for real, I kept catching my mom like in these lies. And she would like rename her drug dealer like Teresa, because she had a friend named Teresa that I knew and I loved. And so I kept getting pissed at her, like, why in the fuck are you smoking crack like without me? A, first of all, like I was jealous at first. And then B, like, you're supposed to be clean with me. I was like, I had so many mixed emotions about it. But overall, I was disappointed and hurt. Like, how come I can stay clean and I can do this, but you can't? I know why now. I know why. I figured out how to be honest, and my mom could never be honest about certain things. When I went to rehab, it was like pounded in your head. Alex clearly is learning how to use his hands. When I went to treatment, it was pounded in your head that you have to get honest in order to heal and grow. And like, you're never going to get better if you can't be honest, and your secrets keep you sick, right? And so my mom kind of taught me, my family taught me, that as long as you look good on the outside, like it doesn't really matter what you do. Like you can smoke crack on the weekends and you can do whatever you want as long as you get your responsibilities done and you look good on the outside. Well, that didn't work for me, clearly. And so when I went to treatment, like I started practicing being honest, and it was this huge, huge weight lifted off of my chest. After I was honest for the first time. I think that story is in Addiction Part 4, the last addiction story I did. And my mom just couldn't do it. Her dad was abusive and an alcoholic, and he pounded in her head like what stays at home, or what happens at home stays at home, and you didn't hear shit, you didn't see shit. And so that's kind of like what I thought was reality. Like, as long as you can swallow it and you can keep moving forward. Like, put your big girl pants on and just keep going. So like that whole concept of honesty was huge for me. And it almost felt like I was betraying her in a way. It still feels like that sometimes. But I know that I have to speak my truth in order to stay sober. And I have a lot to stay sober for. Anyways, she kept using here and there. Like every 2 weeks when she got paid, she would spend a certain amount on dope. And then then I thought she was done for real. And then one day she was supposed to watch Harrison, my son, while I was at work. And like she had her boyfriend pick me up from work, and I was so confused. Like, what? Why is he picking me up? And then I got there, and my son was there, and my siblings were there, and her boyfriend was there, but she was not there. And she got back, and like she was talking really fast, and her voice was raspy, and I was just like, oh God, like someone take me home. I didn't have a driver's license. Someone take me home. Like, I gotta go. Give me my son and let me go, because I just knew what she was doing. And it pissed me off. Like, you're supposed to be watching my kid. What are you fucking doing? Anyways. So the day that she died, my sister was 14. My brother was 13. And I had dropped Harry off to my grandma's. My grandma lived right next door. My grandma lived right next door to my mom. My grandma didn't work. She had retired. And she was watching Harrison while I went to work. So I dropped Harrison off to her at like 7:30 in the morning. And I went to work at TriCap, funny enough. It's a correctional facility that my baby daddy got sentenced to when he went to jail. Anyways, then I went to work, and at like 10 o'clock-ish, I went back to my grandma's to like fix Harrison lunch. And then my sister called me. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm like, what? Mom's lips are blue. She's not moving. I can't wake her up. And so I left Harrison there, and I ran next door to my mom's house. Like I said, they lived right next door to each other on a farm. And I get there, and I felt my mom's head. And as soon as I felt my mom's head, I knew she wasn't there. It felt like wood or concrete, like she didn't feel like a human. I'm going to close my eyes a lot through this video because, like, that's how I think. I know my lighting is shit in this video, but I just have to get this out. Okay. So I got to my mom's house after my sister called me, and I was right next door making my son lunch. Just happened to be right next door. My sister couldn't wake up my mom, and I felt her head. And her head felt like this cold piece of wood right here. Even colder, like concrete. And I knew that was not my mother. My mother's body was there. But that wasn't her. So I slapped her. I went and got water because I thought that she had for sure OD'd. So I went and got water. I threw it on her. That didn't work. I slapped her, and then I called 911. By that time, my grandparents had gotten there, and they started doing CPR. They're screaming things. They're saying, Beth, I hear a gurgle. Doing CPR on my mom's body. I post on Facebook, my mom's dead, post. My Aunt Carol calls me and tells me to take it down. Like, I don't know why I fucking posted that. It's just like, that's what we do, is we like post updates on our life. I was just in a really weird headspace. So I deleted that. And I was on the phone with 911 and I'm like in shock. I'm just like talking like regular, like, my mom's dead. She's gone. She's gone. Get here as fast as you can, but I'm pretty sure she's already gone. So the ambulance, and my brother and sister got told to go to my grandma's house. I know it's weird because I'm telling this like I'm telling the weather report, right? But it's been 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. It's been over 8 years now. I've shed a lot of tears for my mother. My heart breaks for my siblings that had to be there with her. My sister has a lot of anxiety. My brother's more detached. We all cope in different ways, right? I went on a spiritual journey, kind of. Anyway, the ambulance get there and they pronounce her dead. They said there's nothing they could do, that she was passed away. I knew that she wasn't there, that she felt like a foreign object to me, but I thought somehow they could like shock or something and like make her heart start pumping again. But I guess she had died somewhere between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. Somewhere in between there. So she had been dead for a couple of hours already. I also noticed pooling. They call it blood pooling. So she was sleeping on the couch. And then like this side of her face was like purple looking. My son was 2. He had no idea what was going on. He was riding a tractor around saying, "Tractor, tractor." We got to go inside and say goodbye before they took her away. Also, her stomach looked weird, like distended, like bigger. I remember just holding onto her hair. I didn't want to touch her hand or anything, but her hair was the only thing that didn't feel, quote, dead. So I just kept holding her hair. It's weird. It's weird how we cope with different things, you know? We got busy planning the funeral. I remember standing in the grocery store and this couple was like debating / arguing about cereal. And I'm sitting there thinking, my mom just died. Like, how are you discussing cereal right now? Like, time stopped for me. It's like I was almost stuck in that weekend and everyone else's life like kept going by and I was just stuck on August 8th, 2016. She would watch Harrison a lot, so sometimes when I would need a babysitter, I'd be like, "Oh, I'll just text my mom and da-da-da." No, I won't. "Oh, I gotta call my mom and tell her that, no, she's dead, Blaine. You can't call your mom." So it's almost like retraining your brain that this person doesn't exist anymore. She was 47. She was young. After she passed away, I went on a health journey. Started working out a lot. I lost about 40 pounds. I gained it all back when I got pregnant with Elizabeth. My mom's name was Elizabeth. Her name was Beth, and I named my daughter after her. Anyway, my mom, I want to spend the last couple minutes of this video like remembering my mom, and all the good parts about her. I'm really loud because of my mom. She was never afraid to speak her mind. She loved education. She pushed me into college. I wasn't ready until I was 27 after she passed. But I knew that education was important. I knew that it was possible for me. She put herself through school right after I was born. I was born when she was 18. She was an independent woman. She didn't rely on any man. My dad wasn't in my life for the majority of my childhood. He came back when I was 15, married my mom, and they had 2 more kids. And then they got divorced 8 years later. My mom was a great dancer. She loved to move. She loved to have fun. She was the life of the party. She was very fucking smart, always reading, always furthering her education. She was going for her ed specialist degree. She was a special education teacher, and then she was a teacher consultant, and then she was an administrator for Swan Valley School District, and she was holding IEP meetings for students with special needs. She would fight somebody for her students. She loved her students. She was very good at her job. Everybody called her for help when they had a child that had special needs, or when they needed to advocate for their child or anything like that. She never learned how to tell the truth. But she's half of me. She's half of me. She was a Gemini. My moon is in Gemini, so we both like to talk your ear off. We like to argue. We're good at games. We like playing games. She was a little bit more closed off with her emotions and her feelings, but I think that's because of her father. Not quite sure she knew how to love either. She was a good singer too. She sang Red, Red Wine at one of my mom's friends' weddings. Red, red wine. She pushed me to do anything that I wanted to do. She took me to audition for a play. She had me in a pageant. I was in dance. I did so much cool shit in my childhood. I actually did dance competitively, so we traveled to Boston and Vegas 3 times, and to Orlando all the time. Detroit, Ohio. We went everywhere. Chicago. She liked shopping. She spent way too much money. She always struggled with money. Not good with her finances. Towards the end of her life, she filed for bankruptcy. Towards the end of her life, she lost her driver's license. Not many people know that because she still drove. Again, looked good on the outside. After she passed, she got something in the mail from Secretary of State saying that her hearing, she got her driver's license back, but with an interlock device. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like where you have to blow in the thing to make your car go. I'm playing with this poster tack, just in case you're wondering. Sometimes when I like talking about a serious subject, I'm playing with putty. My fingers need to be busy. My partner, Chris, his mom and dad both committed suicide, so we don't have very many grandparents for our kiddos. That makes me sad, because my grandparents were pivotal in my life, cornerstone, especially with the absence of my father. I know this is definitely a different tone to the rest of my videos, but I was watching Megan Thee Stallion's documentary, and she talked about her mom passing away, and it inspired me to share my story of my mother. If you guys want me to elaborate on anything, or if you have any questions, or if you're in the Dead Mom Club, comment down below. If you appreciate my vulnerability, could you like this video for the algorithm? I'm still trying to get my watch time hours. But I figured I had a lot of people asking me to do addiction and recovery content again, and this would be a good start into that path. So I'm going to edit this very minimally. I know my sound is going to be shit, my lighting is going to be shit, but I just needed to get this out there. I love you guys. Oh, also, I know I look tired as fuck.